If you're looking for a destination to be transported back into the medieval times, this is the place to do it. So make sure you stick around this video because we're going to be eating some delicious food, of course, trying some amazing Belgian beer, tasting some delicious Belgian chocolate, and learning more about this beautiful city's history.
Here in Bruges, which is a beautiful, beautiful city and the capital of the West Flanders region in Belgium. The history actually goes back to Roman times here, but the name Bruges actually was first found in the 9th century, as the city has always had a really big importance with the seaside, and it had become a really big trading city for so many different things. It experienced its golden age during the Middle Ages, and then it kind of became a bit of an impoverished city and a really poor city that kind of just became forgotten about until there was a book written, and that brought a lot of interest into the city. From then on, it became this pretty much a tourist attraction in this really, really beautiful, picturesque medieval town. You can tell people just love coming to see it, feeling like they've stepped back in time, and I can't imagine how busy it is in the summer. I mean, I can't imagine, and it's probably hectic.
So we have found ourselves in this monastery area that is just so beautiful and peaceful, and actually there's so many daffodils. We were looking for something like that, like a field of flowers in the Netherlands, but we're a little too early, so here we go. We found it in Bruges, Belgium. I'm very excited because Bruges seems even more of a chocolate heaven, or maybe it's just like the stores that are just so quaint. We went to Du Monde Chocolatier. It's one of the most famous ones here in Bruges. We're told that people here will go into a chocolate shop and they will buy their chocolates fresh. They're actually made daily because there's so much demand from tourists and locals, so it's not just a touristy thing. And so the locals actually eat chocolate here and go and shop for it, just like the French would go in a bakery and get fresh croissants each morning. I'm curious to see how this chocolate compares to the one in Brussels. So I got the praline milk chocolate. It's amazing. A lot better than the one in Brussels. You can actually tell these are more fresh.
So we've been seeing like the little oyster chocolates everywhere, and we thought, oh, we recognize that. It must be a Belgian thing, but I was looking it up, and all I can find is about Godiva. So maybe Godiva started it, or I couldn't find anything else, but I got the most shelly shaped one I could find because I like the mixed color, not for the shape. So this is Rice Krispie. And I just have to say, I'm not like a big sweet person, but I do love a good chocolate. So let's see how it is. It's very pretty. It's very good, like Maria said, much better than the one in Brussels. Those are probably more mass-produced or on a larger scale for city. This shop literally has the workshop where they make them there. I'm pleased with my decision. There's so many chocolate shops. We could have easily just made multiple videos actually on chocolate tastings in Belgium. It's so cool, the coffee one, the Café au lait chocolate. It's literally like a little espresso coffee capsule. And something cool that I noticed, like, so there's a bunch of different kinds of chocolate shop. There's this kind where they're a lot more like fashion-y looking. Even like the shops have different designs, and then like the one we last went to where we got the last chocolates from, it's a more old-fashioned, traditional style. I don't know which I like more. One of the main attractions here is coming around the canals and seeing the city by boat. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't, but it's just really cool seeing on everyone's face how excited they are to see the city.
next stop in the beautiful town of Bruges is going to be the Church of Our Lady. Apart from all the beautiful art the church has and relics, which actually one of the relics, when you look closer and you read about it, it actually has a bone from a saint. But what sets this church apart is the statue it houses and has for centuries. It's Michelangelo's Madonna and Child, and it's the only piece of art that has left Florence while Michelangelo was still alive. So it's a really, really big deal. This statue actually was not meant for this church. It was actually meant to go to a church in Siena, but rumors have it Michelangelo had a disagreement with that church, and a businessman from Bruges had the same lawyer as Michelangelo. So they connected and he was able to buy it and bring it to Bruges. So that's really cool. It's time to go eat some traditional Belgian food. We already had the mussels in Brussels, so we're gonna go have some Flemish stew. It smells so good in here. I am so excited to eat. So they brought us the menu. It looks very small, just kidding. It is huge because of the selections of beer that they have here. They have over 400 different beers.
I want to start by saying we come to this beer brasserie, which, fun fact, I never knew that brasserie is specifically for beer. A lot of people are probably like, well, how did you not know that? But, so that's cool. We both got some beers, and I love how every beer pretty much has its own glass. I always somehow find like Lune or Luna, anything to do with the moon, and found this beer. It's a beer that is only brewed during full moon periods. We obviously used to be a lot more connected to the moon and the moon cycles, so I just love that. And it's so cool how so many beers have different stories and meanings behind them. The bottle too is very cool. And you see that this beer was brewed on the full moon of December 2022. Oh my God. I didn't expect it to be like a champagne bottle. I feel like I'm getting full moon energy coming to me right now. It's really nice. It has 10% alcohol volume, which actually doesn't taste as strong as you would think.
I got the Orville beer, and this was a recommendation from Olivia's brother. He's a bit of a beer connoisseur. He makes his own beer. He actually has the whole collection of glasses, and he said we should definitely try this because of the specific way this beer is brewed. It has a very different flavor profile, and the best thing of all, it ends up having natural probiotics. So this is probably one of the healthiest beers to drink, so cheers to that. Let's see how it is. I actually like, there's a beer type I don't like. I don't like lagers, and this tastes a bit like a lager. It says ale, but it has that metally taste that I don't like from a lager. And during our trip here in Belgium, I think we've probably had more beer than food. So we actually found out it's like 200 grams of bread. And so we actually have not been very hungry. Now that we've been drinking a lot, we've probably had like 1 or 2 beers at the most each day. Yesterday we didn't have any beers, but yeah, it just keeps you full. We got 2 traditional Belgian dishes. I think mine is the least popular, and what Olivia got is like the Belgian dish outside of mussels. I got chicken with pearl onions, bacon, and the gravy it has on top, it's brewed in dark beer. As soon as he brought it in front of me, it just smelled amazing. So I'm so excited and so hungry to try this. Ooh, and on the bottom, it has potato au gratin. Let's make sure we get a little bit of everything for this. Oh, and it has mushrooms as well. Oh my God, it's really, really good. All the flavors combined are just so good. I want to try the gravy by itself. Yeah. The gravy's amazing.
Everything smells amazing. And then the second we came in here, the smells were just so good, so like homemade. I got the traditional Flemish stew, which is pretty much a beef stew with a sauce of beer, onions, all those good things. And a lot of places that we were looking at just seem to have the stew with potatoes. This comes with applesauce on the side. And I'm a really big fan of like gravy with fruit. So I'm very happy and I'm excited to try this. I want to make sure I get a little bit of everything. The gravy is so rich, and I think the beer really brings out the meat flavors. And then the sweetness of the applesauce just really like sets up. It's very, very good. The food scene here is a lot closer to like traditional. You can tell there's a big French influence, and it's like you can tell it's a mix between the Dutch and the French, which is really cool. Bon appetit.
That meal was so good.
It's one of the best meals I've had in a long time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say the same as well. That was delicious. And what were you saying to me in there?
There's something about sitting in a kind of pubby style beer place with like a lot of people eating like really wholesome home cooked meals and like the stained like windows. I seriously felt like I was back in time eating there.
I agree. Wow, great experience. Now we're gonna go check out another pretty special place. It's another church, but
when things were so religious back then, most of the like historical places to see are.
Yeah, I know we keep going into churches. We're not religious, but
like religion was such a big part of everywhere. It really gives you a good idea of what was going on at the time.
Especially when you look at the art that's inside the church, because a lot of it is not just, I mean, yeah, it is kind of religious, but it's
life revolved around the religion, though,
to
be honest.
All right, let's go check it out. Are you ready to give a tour or something?
We are now at the Basilica of the Holy Blood in the center of the city, and the importance of this church is pretty much that there is a vial of supposedly Christ's blood inside, and this church was built by Crusaders in the 12th century, and the blood was supposedly brought from Jerusalem. And we can actually go in and see it. So we may be seeing Christ's blood. We may just be seeing some random person's blood, but regardless, it is very interesting. And to a lot of people, this is probably a pilgrimage site. So let's go in and see what it's like.
Unfortunately, once we got inside, we quickly realized there were no pictures or videos allowed of the vial, but it was something so cool, I tried to get a sneaky shot of it. And of course, I got yelled at right away by the priest in charge, but here's a clear picture to see it better for yourself.
The city is truly beautiful. You can just walk around and take in all these beautiful sights, canals after canals, medieval buildings. Can I just say how much I love these trees over here? They're everywhere. We saw them in Netherlands too. I just love how the branches go out, straight out like that. I think they're cherry trees, and they make the branches go like that. So if you look over here, you see how they have this. So at the beginning when this is growing, they tie the branches together to this. So it just like grows out like that. One more fun fact to tell you is that the historic center here in Bruges is actually all protected by UNESCO. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We've been in Bruges for a little over 24 hours and it's very different than Brussels, so it's hard to compare. But we definitely enjoyed this part of our stay here in Belgium more than Brussels.
Yeah, and I'd say even just like a few days would be enough here.
So we're leaving tomorrow morning, and I do think that we probably needed one more day to actually explore the outskirts of Bruges, because there's quite a bit that we haven't seen.
People say that you could stay in Ghent and do day trips to Bruges, or you could stay in Bruges and do day trips to Ghent, and then also you could hop over to France and go to Dunkirk to see where the Battle of Dunkirk took place.
It's a very interesting region of Europe to come and explore. I think if I were to describe Bruges in a few words, it would be beers, chocolate, laces. Actually, this technique they use is since the medieval times, and people from around the world come to Bruges just to learn these techniques. And I was actually watching a video earlier of how they do it, and it's just like it's very intricate. And so as a result, you have a lot of lace shops, and this started because of the rich discovered, hey, I want lace collars. That's kind of how it became a thing. It was the fashion thing, and then it just like over the centuries it just became part of Bruges' history. Oh yeah, where were we? Beers, chocolate, laces. The medieval feel that you get is just it's a very quaint city, and the people of Belgium are really nice.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how some will speak French to you and some will speak Dutch to you. I think that's also a really cool, unique part of Belgium. You have so much Dutch influence, French influence, and a bit of German. So we're gonna end this video right here. We hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new. And if you enjoyed it, why not hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We really appreciate it and it helps us out a lot. So we'll see you on the next one.